Mr. Scott? Mr. Scott? These people are from the police. They want to ask you some questions about what happened.
Oh, I'm sure they do.
I'm Detective Flynn. This is my partner, Detective White.
How are you feeling, Mr. Scott? The doctor said...
Dying, Detective. And thank God for that. I can't forget Carcosa, where the black stars hang in the heavens.
Yeah, well, in any event, we want to talk to you about the dead bodies in your studio.
It's just words. That's all it is. Words. More soothing than music, more awful than death.
Mr. Scott, we're trying to find out why those people are dead.
That's what I'm talking about. The King in Yellow. All the answers are in that book. Terrible, irresistible truths.
Yeah. Why don't you just tell us what happened?
Let's start with the woman, Tess Reardon. I understand she was working for you as an artist model?
Yes. Tess. She was posing for me the day it all started. I opened the window to let in some air and I saw him.
What were you staring at outside the window? You had that look.
So what look?
When you really don't like something? Like when you looked at that installation at Jen's gallery?
Was that obvious? I was trying to be nice.
So what's out there?
Nothing. It's just a man sitting on a bench in the courtyard, a bald, puffy guy in black. He looked up at me with his pasty face and, I don't know, it was like he was a grub or a maggot or something. I just wanted him to go away.
He might be a perfectly delightful human being once you get to know him.
Which I hope never happens. Oh, hell!
What's wrong now?
I managed to make a mess out of your arm.
I'm sorry.
Here, put your robe on. Let's take a break.
Is it supposed to look like I have gangrene?
No. God, it's spreading. I didn't... God damn it. Damn it, son of...
You know the tormented artist thing is so last century.
Yeah, well, I guess I should be cultivating my personal brand or something.
Everything went south when you saw that man. Let's see if he's still out there.
You'll be sorry.
Oh my God!
Succinct and well stated.
He reminds me of this dream I had. Or was it something I actually saw?
I wouldn't know.
You were in it, so you ought to know.
Don't you dare tell me I'm the man of your dreams. I'll never get over myself.
Do you want to hear about it or not?
Go ahead.
I was in bed.
Where most of our dreaming takes place.
I mean, in my dream, I was in bed. And I heard something, so I got up and went to the window. The street was empty except for a long hearse slowly passing by.
Spooky.
You were inside, in the coffin.
How could you tell?
I just could. You know how it works in dreams. Sometimes you just know things.
So, you dreamed I was dead?
No, you weren't dead, but you were inside the coffin. I think you were trying to say something, but I couldn't make it out.
Okay, this is getting a little creepy.
I could see the driver. It was the man down there, the same puffy, pale face. I don't like this.
Maybe you've seen him before, and that's how he ended up in your dream.
I'd remember seeing that face in real life, wouldn't you?
Then your mind is playing tricks on you. Look, you've been posing too long. Why don't we just call it a day?
Are you sure?
I'll fix you a drink before you leave.
Do you have any Moscato?
Ooh, no, Moscato? Gee, you poor thing. I'll pour you some Riesling.
God, that bloated white face. He looks like something that could wash up on the riverbank.
Here. Cheers. You should take a few days off. Get out of town.
Oh, you mean with all the money I don't have saved?
I have a cabin up north. It belonged to my uncle. It's a nice, secluded place. You can bring your friends and take some rustic selfies.
Sounds like a horror movie plot.
Look, it was just an idea.
What about that man down there?
What about him?
He was driving the hearse.
Well, it's honest work.
Then you think I really did see the hearse?
If you did, it's not impossible that our friend was the driver. It sounds like a job that would suit him. Look, he's gone away.
Thank God. I'll see you tomorrow, Mr. Scott. Are you going to Maida's opening tonight?
No, I'm meeting Drew Castaigne.
Is he the friend who had that accident on his bicycle?
That's the one.
How's he doing?
Better, I suppose. He had a bad concussion. He was kind of helpless for a while, but he's more active now. He's involved with some sort of business startup that's keeping him focused. We're going to talk about some design and illustration work I might do for them. Sounds like they have a lot of venture capital to play with.
Scott, I'm so glad you can make it. I don't think you've met my associate, Jerry Wilde.
I've seen your work. Some of it's good.
Thanks.
Has Drew told you much about Project Yellow Sign?
It's some sort of app type thing?
Project Yellow Sign is a multimodal social media and audience engagement platform for collaborative cultural entrepreneurship.
The technology has the potential to disrupt not just existing social media, but culture, politics, the foundations of all of our institutions.
The possibilities are endless. Imagine musical interactive TED Talks, improvisational street theater staged by flash mobs, crowdsourcing solutions to poverty, healthcare, unemployment. It's about pluralizing personal empowerment.
Mm-hmm. How does it make money?
We have a dynamic revenue model. Monetization is an emergent property of the engagement process.
I see. So what do you need from me?
We have a logo based on an ancient symbol. We need to update it so that it resonates with a modern audience.
Well, I don't mean to be crass, but I don't have the luxury of waiting for monetization to dynamically emerge from the engagement process.
We've drafted a standard contract with what I think are reasonably generous terms.
Down payment, mock-ups, final payment on approval, at which point we receive the high-res image files.
What the hell? What's the original I'm working from?
Here's a print. We'll email you an image file and the color specs.
Are you sure about this? You don't want to explore other concepts before committing?
I know it seems odd, but we feel the basic design has cross-cultural resonances that'll help us leverage the brand.
Yellow, though. Are you willing to entertain the possibility of another color? I'm thinking maybe a shade of indigo might...
No, it's the yellow sign. It has to be yellow.
There are deep-rooted archetypal associations with this particular shape and color.
You see, light with a wavelength of about 570 to 590 nanometers has interesting physiological properties when registered by the human eye. It's the strongest of primary psychological colors, stimulating emotion.
You know, I was just throwing it out there, but if you want yellow, you've got yellow.
You think he's running a scam, don't you?
No, not necessarily. Maybe he's just extremely optimistic and very attached to yellow.
I grant you, he's eccentric. And yeah, some of his investors probably have more money than sense. But he's onto something. He has important connections. He's a highly paid reputation management consultant. Don't underestimate Wilde. He says this is going to change everything. I'm ready to believe him.
Well, I can't complain about the money. Chin just a little higher, Tess.
Like this?
Perfect. Are you comfortable holding it like that?
It's fine. How's your friend?
Drew? He's fine, I guess. I don't know about this business venture of his. Sounds dodgy, but they have the investors. I just got a big advance for some logo designs.
Sweet. It's about time you had a chance to sell out.
I had a dream last night.
Not about that guy.
Yeah, but it's much worse.
You're just messing with me, aren't you?
I wish. I was lying in a box with a glass cover. I was in some sort of van that was going down the street. I tried to move, but the box was too narrow. I couldn't raise my hand or sit up or anything. I tried to get the driver's attention. I called out, but my voice was gone. Then I saw something from the corner of my eye. There was a light on the second floor of one of the nearby buildings. The window was open. There was someone standing there looking down at the street. It was you. I could see your face, but only for a moment. Then I was in darkness, but I knew someone was close by. I turned, I saw the white face of that hearse driver.
Oh, God, just stop it. You're freaking me out.
Tess, I'm sorry. Look, it was just a dream. You told me about your dream, and it acted on my subconscious. There's nothing unnatural going on.
I know it's stupid, but it felt like more than a dream. And ever since I saw that man in the courtyard, it seems like something's happening.
Tess, honey, you're shaking.
I'm sorry.
Here, put your robe on.
I feel like an idiot.
It's okay. We can get ideas in our heads. Sometimes when I'm staring at a canvas all day, I get to thinking that nothing is real. Everything's just colors and shapes, and we think it all means something.
I can't help it. I'm scared.
There's nothing to be afraid of. Nothing is going to happen to you.
No, it's not me I'm worried about.
What then?
For you. I'm sorry, Jim. I care for you.
I thought of 1,000 things I could have said. I could have laughed it off. I could have played dumb, pretended I misunderstood her. I could have said that there was just no way the two of us could work. But instead, I kissed her. And then, after, I couldn't just tell her it was a mistake. That's the sort of thing I'd usually say, but not to Tess. I couldn't. I knew she'd feel cheapened and used. But then what? As much as she meant to me, she wasn't the right woman for me. And I wasn't the right man for anyone.
Oh, these are very good. Very good. Especially this one. You crushed it with this one, Jimmy. Wilde will be very happy. I've emailed him the files.
I really didn't change that much. I'm almost embarrassed to take the money. But I will, of course.
There's something different about you.
Well, I've gained a little weight after getting addicted to Korean barbecue.
No, not that. Oh, don't tell me. You're in love.
What? No, I mean...
You are, aren't you?
Well, look, there's this model I've been working with, and...
Little Tess? Jimmy. How old is she? 22?
26. 25, well, I'm not sure.
Well, what else can we expect of you looking at a naked girl all day?
Drew, it's not like that.
So what's it like then?
I don't know, for one thing. With nude models, after a while, you might as well be staring at a bowl of fruit. But she's good company. I was drawn to her curiosity and innocence, but I never had any intentions like that. But then she was upset about something, and it's kind of my fault. And then I was trying to make things better, and I was holding her, and look, I hasten to add that she had a robe on at this point.
I didn't say anything.
And she tells me she cares for me, and well...
Yeah?
I was weak.
You were something anyway.
Suddenly, she's too shy to pose nude for me.
Oh, that's kind of, well, I don't know. What are you going to do?
Oh, hell if I know. I know I should just be upfront with her about everything, but part of me also wants to protect her. I don't want to be one of those guys. I guess I'm sort of hoping that she'll just get tired of me and move on to somebody better.
You know, I won't pretend to be well-versed in the ways of love, but that sounds like a really terrible plan. What if you...
What's wrong?
Just a little headache.
Again? They're back?
No, nothing like that. Just a twinge now and then.
What does your doctor say?
Dr. Bowman is an idiot. I've had enough of him. You know, Jim, I'm sorry about your girlfriend troubles, but before long, you'll realize just how unimportant all this nonsense is. Here, let me show you something. Have you ever heard of this book?
The King in Yellow? Sounds familiar.
It's a play, actually, written about 100 years ago.
Oh, yeah. There was an urban legend that reading it would make you go insane.
Well, I read it, and look at me.
Yeah? I think that was just an early example of clever viral marketing. Didn't some countries ban it because of subversive ideas?
It was more than just subversive. Oh, it doesn't violate any ethical principles, set forth any doctrines, or provoke moral outrage. And yet, somehow, it actually does all that through unspoken implications that could tear the world apart. Editions containing the full text are very rare, but this is one of them.
Hey, that's the symbol. So that's where you got it.
Oh no, the yellow sign is much older than the play. It's a deeply powerful symbol, long used by rulers and priests. It is always being repressed and destroyed, and it is always rediscovered and remade. Your work on it is part of a long and magnificent tradition. And of course, it's different this time. You may be the last to remake the sign. You can't destroy symbols and ideas today, not when you can reach millions of people overnight. The power exists to seize minds and mold unborn thoughts.
This is just a logo, you know.
It's far more than that. Let me show you something else.
It's your bike helmet.
Interesting. You see a bike helmet.
Well, that's what it is. Is that blood? It's the one you were wearing when you had your accident.
What you perceive to be a bicycle helmet is in fact an artifact from outside time and space as we know it. Your mind can't process it, so you register the diadem as an unnamed object.
Drew.
The accident is true, it damaged me. But you lose one sense, like vision. Hearing and other senses are amplified to compensate. And the accident made me open to the meaning of the yellow sign and the message of the King in Yellow to make me worthy to wear the crown. The King in Yellow might scorn it, but it shall be worn by me, and I am content to be his royal servant.
I made some excuse to leave and rushed to get back to the studio. He was obviously out of his mind, but I felt that things were somehow much worse than that. Like Tess said, something was happening. I was heading for the subway station when the black hearse pulled up alongside me. The window rolled down and I saw the white, deathly face staring at me.
Have you found the yellow sign? Have you found the yellow sign?
I took the stairs down to the subway platform at a run. I tripped on the steps and fell, landing on my hands. The pain was excruciating, but I got up and kept running.
Oh my God, what happened? Did you get mugged?
No, I just tripped going down to the subway.
Careful. Can you bend your wrist?
Yeah, but I'm not going to be painting anytime soon.
Oh no. Maybe we should go to the emergency room and have it x-rayed.
No, I think it'll be okay. We'll see how it feels in the morning.
Well, let's at least clean up that cut.
Wait, what's that?
What?
That pendant on your necklace. Where did you buy that?
I found it when I was leaving the aquarium with Lizzie and Renata. It looks old, doesn't it? What do you think this symbol is? Kind of looks Arabic or maybe Chinese.
Oh, neither, I'd say. What do you think of the color?
I don't usually like to wear yellow, but it's kind of striking, isn't it? There's a power to it.
How long have you had it?
Oh, come to think of it, I found it the same day I had the first dream about the hearse driver. You haven't seen him around lately, have you?
No. I didn't tell Tess that her pendant bore the yellow sign. I didn't see the point. After she bandaged my wrist, I rested in the bedroom while she went to get some takeout for dinner. I slept a while and walked out of the bedroom to find the studio quiet and empty. Then I found her, crouched in the corner, white and silent, the King in Yellow open at her feet. I took her hand and led her to the sofa. She just sat down and closed her eyes. I sat next to her and opened the book to the beginning. I read all of it, and I wept and laughed and trembled in horror. Only the work of a hopeless and twisted soul could fascinate and paralyze and curse the world with such a beautiful, incredible creation, terrible in its simplicity, irresistible in its truth. It's like a song that you can't get out of your head. Only this song isn't just there in the back of your mind. It takes over completely. It becomes your new reality. Hello?
James, it's true.
I read it. The king in yellow.
I'm sorry. It was a mistake giving it.
Writing those words was a monstrous sin. There's no other word for it, a sin. What kind of mind conceives such a thing?
It holds many truths.
It holds all the truths, all the ones that matter, the truth behind all our illusions.
I'm truly sorry. I thought you'd be able
I saw what it did to her, but I read it because I didn't want her to be alone.
That was noble of you, Jim, but pointless. We're all alone. There's no escaping that.
Who's that man, Drew?
What man?
The hearse driver. A pale, grub-like man in black. He spoke of the yellow sign. Tess found a pendant with the yellow sign, and that night she dreamed of the man.
I don't know. The king in yellow has many servants.
I think I understand things now. We never left Carcosa.
We left long ago, but it was never very far away. I'm sorry. It was a mistake. It was all a mistake. I think it's too late now. Even with Wilde gone, things have been set in motion. It's only a matter of time.
Wilde's gone? Gone where?
I wonder about Casilda.
We spoke of Hastur and Casilda, while outside fog rolled against the windows like the cloud waves roll and break on the shores of Hali. You've seen images that can be perceived in two different ways. A vase or two faces in profile, an old woman or a young lady. The king in yellow does that to your very perception of reality. There's no ground to stand on. The very air seems to vanish in the lungs, only to be replaced by that which cannot be born. You must get rid of the yellow sign.
No, I won't.
He's coming for the yellow sign. Did you lock the door?
That won't stop him.
What do you want? What the hell do you want?
You have seen the yellow sign.
Songs of the Hyades shall sing, where flap the tatters of the king. Must die unheard in dim Carcosa.
Oh, Jesus, this...
The ME says Ms. Reardon probably died of cardiac arrest. They'll be running toxicology tests.
Which will find nothing.
The other body, though. Whoever he was, he'd been dead for weeks.
Let the red dawn surmise what we shall do when this blue starlight dies and all is through. I think, my God, it's happening. It's the...
I just talked with Doyle at Midtown. They found Castaigne and Wilde.
You gonna bring him in?
They're dead. It looks like Castaigne cut Wilde's throat and hanged himself.
Flynn. What? Oh, you gotta be... Okay, we'll be there. You won't believe this. The girl, Tess Reardon, her body's disappeared from the morgue.
What? They misplaced her?
She's just gone.
I've never seen anything like this. All over town, people are going crazy, smashing windows, swarming the streets.
Turn up the TV. It's on all the channels.
And the Hyades and Aldebaran to at last bring a new
My
era
God,
of order
it's
and
her,
purpose.
Tess Reardon.
No, it's not her. Not anymore.
Pronounced or comprehended, but you may call us the Queen in Yellow.